What's going on, guys? Jaxx the Bearded Hiker here. So in my last video that I did on the Thorfire PF04, I mentioned in that video that I was switching from a headlamp over to a Mini Penlight. So today I want to go over why I made the switch. Now I want to say this, so I don't want this video to come off like I'm trying to convince you to switch over from a headlamp to a penlight or a flashlight. That's not what this video is about. I'm just responding to some questions that were asked to me in my last video. Okay, so this is normally what I do carry. This is the Firefly. It's 40 lumens and it weighs 1.1 ounces. Now I switched over from this over to the Phoenix E05. Nothing new. It's been around for a while. This thing with this little modification here, which I'll get into later, the battery, the whole setup here weighs 1 ounce. So it is a little bit lighter than the one I was carrying. And again, it's 85 lumens. It's like double this little thing right here. Why did I switch? Other than the brightness, which was not a deciding factor for me. Well, firstly, let me tell you this. I do not like anything constricting on my head. I get a headache. I find it a pain in the butt. Messes up my hair. Just kidding, it doesn't mess up my hair. No, I just found when I was at camp, I was always using this in my hand because I did not want it around my head. And even though I wear some cool hats, I normally don't wear hats, and when I do wear hats, it's usually just to keep the sun off my face. The deciding factor for me, though, was recently I was on a hiking trip with Great Nut, and I kept stumbling over stuff. And one time I actually saw something, and I stumbled over it, and we kind of had a chuckle about it. And I said, you know, I saw the stump that I stumbled on. I saw it coming and I still stumbled on it. And Great Nut said, well, do you know why? And I said, no. And he said, parallax. And of course, you know, I didn't want to admit that I was a dumbass and didn't know what parallax was, but I ended up having to say, what does that mean? Anyway, I'm not going to go into all the specifics and whatnot that he said, but he basically, in a nutshell, told me that when you have a light or anything up here, in the same plane as your eyes, you lose or you cannot see shadows, which in turn at night, when you can't see the shadows, then your depth perception is compromised. So I thought, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then I started thinking about the switch. So as I was contemplating the switch, and I went ahead and ordered this, and I got it in, and I thought, well, you know, is it gonna be a problem when I'm hiking or when I'm doing something with it in my hand? And then I thought, well, you know, if I'm doing something and I need both hands, you know, I just stick it in my mouth like that, which is a possibility. But then I got to thinking, well, maybe there's something else that I can do. So I came up with this little deal here. Now I took this on the Swanee River and I wore it at night sleeping. It's not uncomfortable, and basically it's just a crude thing that I sewed up here with a woman's little headband with grippy on it. And basically it's just like a watch band, but I've sewn kind of like a loop in here where I can take the mini light in and out. And of course, when you want to turn it on, you just turn it like that. You turn it off, you just turn it back. And as you can see, I mean, it's not coming out or anything like that. And another reason is, you know, you have that headlamp on, you're still having to adjust it all the time. You're blinding that person when you're talking to them. They ask you something, you turn around, you blind them, you got to move it down. It's just so much easier to have this light on, and you're going to, you know, you're going to turn it off. You're not going to forget that it's on. And honestly, I need to use my eyes more at night anyway by trying not to use a light at all. Oh, one more thing that I want to add is, and I got this from Evan over at Evan's Backpacking. I bought me a little thing of chapstick here. I think Carmex works as too. But basically, You have this, you take the cap off, and when your light's on, if you want your red light, you just stick that on there, and boom, you got a red light all day long. I hope that answered some of your questions. I'm not saying you guys should switch. I probably would have never done a video on this had not I had some questions about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it answered the questions you have. I know there's going to be arguments on why you should carry a headlamp, and that's fine, guys. You guys do what you want. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% sold on the whole, this little deal right here. We'll see how it goes. I may switch back to a headlamp at some point. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Peace.